All right, everybody, this is the PWZ podcast. This is the Professor, Rick Del Santo, joining me as always on this glorious, actually, we're 2 days later than usual. Okay, I usually say Sunday into Monday, but it's Tuesday into Wednesday. The Professor, Rick Del Santo, and of course, joining me, Showtime, Marcel Williams. Hello, what's up?
What's going on?
We're sitting here discussing
I'm
about.
hot, though. I am hot. Go
I
ahead.
get it. We're sitting here discussing WrestleMania becoming a 2-night event. I don't think it's a bad idea. Marcel seems to disagree. I just think, there's a point that I want to make up because I said, I don't want to sit there for 9 hours. And Marcel said, well, don't make the show 9 hours, which absolutely 100% makes sense. One thing I want to say about that is, remember when we're like, nowadays they try to fit every single piece of talent that they have under contract on that show. Do you remember when we were younger? It's all the biggest stars got on the show.
Well, you know what? I'm not even, back in the day, they did the same thing. I mean, WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 5, WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 6, they had like 13 matches. Everybody was on the card. WrestleMania 7, it wasn't that bad, but if you look back at it now, from top to bottom, everybody was on the card. So they're trying to do it now where they want everybody on the card, which I respect it, but not everybody has to be on the card. You don't have to make the whole event 8 to 9 hours, and then now you gotta make it 2 days, so that's double the money. I usually go on the weekend and go on Sunday and go to Mania and then head on home. Now let's think about it. So you pay for the flight, you pay for the hotel, then you gotta pay for 2 WrestleMania tickets now. It's not like they give you a discount. They give you
they don't offer package deals.
Yeah, so that's like double the money plus the hotel rental, all that. Nah. Just like before we started here, I'm not going to WrestleMania.
You're looking at a few $1,000s just for a 2-day event.
Yes, it turned from $700, probably $800 trip to like almost $1,500 to $2,000 trip. Yes.
So you want to get in a day early. So you're going to essentially stay in a hotel for probably 3 days max, right? Minimum, I should say. You're going to get in probably Friday.
Probably 4 days, because it's always better to leave on Thursday, because Thursday the prices are low for the flights. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are probably the highest for the flight. You'd be lucky if you get one. But Monday is the lowest because it's Monday. It's a weekday. So you could actually stay there from Thursday. I usually make it a week thing. So I come back on Monday. I don't never go to. I go to Raw. I only went to Raw probably like 2 times throughout the WrestleMania times I went. But I mean, I just head on home on Monday. But it's just yeah. And then you got SmackDown on Friday.
Yep.
And then you got Monday for Raw. So that's you can imagine a person going to all that. Like, you count all those tickets up. Plus the 2 days.
Not to mention though, you got to think about it, all the indies that start focusing around town, you know what I mean? And then the festivals. Yeah, and the Fan Fest. WrestleCon usually is wherever Mania is every year as well. And there's other bigger indies that are in the area that just put on big shows. Bloodsport usually does a show in the area.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I mean, you're looking at a lot of freaking money. Like, a lot of freaking money.
It's good for the wrestling business. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely, 100%. But a fan,
it's not good for me. It's not good for my pockets.
I don't make that much money. Because you're looking. I mean, I would love to go to something like that. Yeah, I'm lucky that last time I went to Mania, it was in New Jersey. I literally drove up in the morning and then came home at night. I did not get stuck in traffic like some of those unfortunate human beings that weekend.
I didn't either, but I've been to the Dallas Stadium. I went to that WrestleMania. That stadium is big. It holds over 100,000 people. But the problem is, can you do that 2 nights in a row? That can't be done 2 nights in a row. So I know it cannot be done 2 nights in a row because you had a problem doing this for the last year WrestleMania, which was 2 days. So even though you had limited capacity anyway, but still now you're now at the point now that you gotta fill up this $100,000. I'm saying $100,000. I wish I did have $100,000. One hundred
We
thousand
wouldn't be
fans.
we wouldn't be having this discussion.
Now we probably would. We probably be having like some in some studio somewhere.
Right.
100,000 people, 2 days in a
Yep.
row. That cannot happen. Maybe 70,000, 2 days in a row. Maybe,
It holds
but
100,000 people. That stadium, legit.
it holds over 100,000 people. Yes.
Jesus, that's a lot of freaking people.
Yeah, they broke the WrestleMania 3 record. So,
Not to mention, like you said, the fan
nice stadium.
festivals and the events. People are gonna, and then memorabilia that you're gonna buy. And you realize, you got to walk away with a shirt of some sort, if not multiples. There's exclusive, food you got to eat for the
Expensive
3 or
ass
4
food.
days. Yes, exactly. And those are mostly done in tourist areas. Dallas has a pretty big tourist area. So
Dallas got great barbecue.
I've never been to Dallas. So
Put it out there. Let's go put it out
all
there.
right, now I got to go to Dallas, and that's the only reason I'm going. So it's for the barbecue. Wow, that's incredible, though. Seriously, it really is. I mean, I can't imagine spending that much money for an event. I mean, you're put in a situation like, how do some of these people pay for this stuff? It's crazy.
Well, there's some people that have money saved up for the whole year.
Well,
Some
there's
people
that
use their
too.
income tax money. Let me see here. Some people got trust funds.
What was that? Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
you
just
got.
telling you that I buy the cheap seats most of the time when I go to WWE events because, they're just too expensive, some of them.
No, they are.
Yeah.
Even for AEW Grand Slam, I was up on I think I was up on the third deck, but I still had a great seat to watch the whole thing.
Yep.
I mean, because the way the stadium is, the way it's
Right.
set up, you all the way up here, so you can still see it. It's still a great view. But if you got something like for example, the AT&T Stadium, I had a good seat, but it was like still like it's so big. You like, okay, well, I wish I was a little bit closer. MetLife Stadium was same deal. Like I had a good seat, but it was like way back. I just wish you were a little bit closer. It's just
My seats for MetLife Stadium, you would think that I would have had a good seat because I was right off the floor next to the stage. However, I could not see anybody walking out because I was right next to the stage, next to where the pyro was.
I hate those seats.
But I didn't buy the tickets. My friend did. So, but I could look down every time somebody was leaving the ring. They were all down right there. I just saw DDP was sitting there chilling. Joan Jett and her band, the Blackhearts, were just chilling out there. So it was kind of cool, you know what I mean, to see everybody walking back there when Brock got annihilated. You just saw him walking by. I wouldn't say he got annihilated, but but I was the second.
You got a quick buck.
But I was definitely like the ring was in the center of the freaking thing, but that field is just so large that I felt so far back. You know what I mean? It was so much. It was a lot of fun though. It really was a lot of fun.
I mean, my biggest mission right now is just to go to a Rumble when they have at the baseball stadiums now. I like that little special setup that they be having now when they had a baseball stadium.
Right. Yep.
Cool.
When's the next one? Where's the? That's one thing I want to talk about now. Speaking of which, pay-per-views now. Did you look at the outside of WrestleMania that their new schedule? Like the majority of them are on a Saturday.
Yeah, on Saturday I see this one. Obviously you got day one, which is January 1st. That's at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. So you start off the year hot with WWE action. Then you got the Rumble at the Dome at America's Center at St. Louis. That's January 29th on a Saturday as well. And you got the 2-day WrestleMania. You got the only Sunday events is Sunday, May 8th and Sunday, June 5th. And then you got Saturday, July 2nd. That's Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. which is kind of iffy because it says SummerSlam is in Nashville, but I heard the rumor was SummerSlam was supposed to happen in the UK. So I don't even know. So that may be a maybe, but
I heard there was supposed to be some sort of UK show coming up too next year. So we'll see what happens. A lot of people are complaining, thinking that they're scared, and that's why they're moving their pay-per-views on Sunday to try to be competition, kind of like similar how they did with Jim Crockett back in the day. Just put a show up against another show. My thing is, they've been doing it for decades. The Sunday night pay-per-views.
Absolutely.
And we're getting older. Who the fuck wants to stay up that late on a Sunday still? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not arguing about this Saturday thing. I am happy as hell that they're being moved to Saturdays. Trust me.
There's been times when I was a kid watching pay-per-views at my grandmother's house, and it'd be on Sunday, and then next day I gotta go to school, and I'd be mega tired by watching these pay-per-views. That's when I was young. So now, it's on a Saturday. You can enjoy yourself, get some rest, drinks, whatever you need to do. Watch it, enjoy yourself. And you know what? You gotta feel, and then you gotta praise the people for the UK. The UK, they watch this stuff like early Monday morning.
Yes.
Like, that's not right. So now, Saturday, they get to watch it, they get to enjoy it, they get some rest, and go to work and get stuff done instead of being tired watching a WWE pay-per-view for like 4 or 5 hours. But it has gotten better. All the pay-per-views are starting to be like 3 hours. So I give it to them.
Right. They're saving, they're usually about 3, and some of the smaller big ones are about 4, and then the big ones, obviously, I think that they broke down. What did they break down WrestleMania to, like 4 or 5 hours this year? Was that about right?
Yeah, about. Well, it was 3 hours each night, so it was 3 hours Saturday, and it was 3 hours Sunday. But
I don't mind that, dude. If they're gonna do 2 nights like that, well, it's expensive.
If I'm interested in seeing a match, I don't want to sit here and pick a day. I want to go there and watch the whole event. But you know what? I give up. They just copying off of Wrestle Kingdom. That's fine.
I don't argue that. I don't argue that. New Japan's been doing Wrestle Kingdom like that for years, 2 nights. So
they only did it for like 3 years.
All right. Still before WWE did it. So,
that's messed up.
They took an influence for it. So I don't think it's that bad of an idea. But like you said, you don't want to see it. I don't mind seeing it.
I'll just stay at home and watch the nights.
If they come to New York, dude. If they come to New York, I wouldn't complain. You know what I mean? It's like they come to New York. Guess what? Then I could drive there, come home at night, and then drive back the next day. New York's like what, an hour away, hour and a half away into the city or whatever.
And then you got one. Then after this, they'd be in LA. So I'm hoping that be one night because I would like to go to LA once in my life. So if it's 2 nights, I'm gonna be real pissed. Just for future reference.
We'll talk about that in 2023 when that gets announced.
Exactly. We will continue this conversation.
So, anything I haven't spoken to you since the weekend. Has anything exciting happened to you, wrestling wise, throughout the weekend?
No, man. I was just chilling with the family. I know PAPW was in Maine for the first time for Taco Fest, and I heard it was a big success with over 1,000 people in attendance for the Taco Fest and PAPW. And you had a few of the up and comers for PAPW showing their talents for the weekend, which I heard was a great success.
I saw, what's his name? Hunter Tarka defeated Steven Garcia. That Hunter was a young kid. He's only been wrestling a very short time, but he's all right. I can't believe that he took the win, though. That's what surprised me there.
Was the Battle Academy involved?
It didn't look like. Well, just from the clip that I saw, I did not see. I just saw really small clips. So I didn't notice if they were or not. I know that they were all up there. I saw that I saw clips from each of them most of them that they were up there. I don't think the lady was up there. So
I heard like I said, I heard it was a success, and then you got it continuing. Oh, and you had Tony Atlas there last Saturday.
Yep.
It was a big nice event, and now we got coming up Hartford at Bushnell Park.
Yep.
And that's 12-6 again. They gonna invade the Talk List. I'm not guaranteed to be there. I don't know, but on top of that announcement, just announced today we got Alley Fights returning November 5th.
Yep, that's
on a Friday.
That's next Friday, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it?
So yeah,
Time
next Friday.
Fast.
It really does lately. It's insane. It's unfortunate, but I'm unable to make that unless my schedule changes. But I don't know. Hoping to get updated on that show though. And then Type 1 to None is the following week. Excuse me. The JCC in Woodbridge, Connecticut, or of Greater New Haven, excuse me. Excuse me. And that's going to be a really good event. I'm really looking forward to seeing Flash Waller and Mario Mancini. Help me out here with the rest of the matches. I'm drawing a blank here. Mike Law is going to be there, correct?
Yeah,
He's
Mike Law
on,
challenging
Matthias.
AEW Championship. I got you,
Yep.
man.
Yeah,
that's why I got you. Got you.
I'm trying to do these out off the top of my head. I didn't have those like right there, but
no problem. And we got Zane Leroux versus The Haven for the PAPW Tag Team Championships.
Yep.
And we got a few more announcements coming up in the upcoming days. And also, you got myself versus Vlad in the Last Man Standing match. It's going to be a big event. You know, all the donations go to JDRF Fund for Type 1 Diabetes. And it's just going to be a big event. And I want y'all to come down and support not only the cause that we're entertaining for and to raise money for, but just come out, have a good time, enjoy professional wrestling at its finest.
Yes. PAPW puts on some great shows. I've gone to almost every show in the last 3 years, almost, with the exception of next Friday and a couple others. So that was supposed to be a little humor. Anyways, we had somewhat of a big week in wrestling. I did not watch everything, but I did get caught up on my AEW. I watched Crown Jewel. I did watch NXT tonight. I attempted Monday Night Raw last night, but that was a little difficult to a show to sit through, so I'm gonna have to go back and try to watch it with the fast forward options.
Both of us. It's a job for both of us.
It really is. Sheesh. And it's mostly your fault too, because
it is my fault. It is my fault. I take a hit for that. And then what happened the first day? I told you, I said this was the biggest mistake I ever did in my life.
Yeah, because that 3 hours, it
takes a toll on you, dude.
Yeah, it does, because it feels like you're sitting there for about 9. I usually watch it the next day. I was never like that for Nitro, though.
I don't know why.
I'm going to tell you, because okay, before we get into Crown Jewel, we're going to start off with the Crown Jewel because it's the oldest event on our list. Okay. So we're sitting there talking about Nitro, and then we're sitting there talking about Raw, comparing the two as saying we never got tired. Okay. I'm going to tell you why. First off, there is one key reason. We were much younger at that time period, okay? We could do this stay up late levels. We're not like adults and working adults. I mean, we were, but not at the level that we are now. We both have kids, families, all that other crap. That takes a toll on you. However, the writing might not have always been really great for Monday Nitro. But there was variety. There was a lot of variety. We had cruiserweights. We had Hogans. We had other stuff. You know, we had technical wrestling.
Competitive matches.
Yeah. Monday Night Raw, mind you, whether it be an hour or a 2-hour program, it's basically this. Now, it was 2 hours for a number of years before becoming a 3-hour program. It's the same exact television show and format that they had at that 2-hour format. The same amount of matches just spread out to help you last 3 hours. They didn't add anything. They just slowed things a lot down. There's more commercial breaks. There's the same amount of matches. You're not getting anything extra. There's probably more in between skits just to try to help out with that. And that's about it. There's nothing special to make that 3 hours. They did absolutely nothing.
Now, I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit because you may say that we was younger when we didn't notice, but I remember my grandparents sitting there for 3 hours watching Nitro and they didn't get bored, or any other people that was watching Nitro that didn't get bored. So that has to be a false. Now, for me, at my age and your age, for us to sit here and love wrestling that we continue to watch
Mhm.
from since we were little to now, it's just a challenge, dude. I sit here and I try, dude, to open mind. Like the last 2 weeks since I switched my personal job to days now. So now I watch it. I'm like, Jesus. Like I try. I watch with an open mind, and hopefully it just something pops up at me. I'm like, maybe I'm just exaggerating, and maybe certain podcasts I listen to, maybe they just crapping all over this product that we call Monday Night Raw that's been going on since 1993. And nah, man, it's just I can't do it. I
It's
cannot do
hard to
it.
sit through.
I text you and told you. I said, listen, I can't do the podcast tonight. This this is the finish. It's the finish. This is it. The I can't.
It's rough. It's rough sitting for 3 hours through that. If you watch it without the commercials, it's about two and change, maybe like
Mm-hmm.
2 hours 10 minutes. But there's really nothing. There's nothing to take away from it anymore. There's nothing. From what I understand, Vince is more than well aware that the product is stale. That Monday Night Raw is a stale product. But there hasn't
And
doesn't
that's
seem to
fine.
be, and that's fine. Yeah, and
Yeah,
nothing.
that's fine. You know why? Because he's making money, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Right? Listen, I
Well, he
would be the
hasn't
same
changed it.
way
Yeah.
if I'm making money. If I'm making money, I'm gonna change it either. But if
He's
I know
making
my product is
money.
stale,
Peacock, Saudi Arabia, merchandise. People are the people
yes,
that are tuning in are the people that have been tuning in for 30 years or however many years the show's been in existence. It's something that they're accustomed to. There's something that they're
their
used
biggest
to.
demographic is 50 and older.
Yeah. Like I
It's the
said,
biggest
people that have
demographic.
been doing it, watching it forever. I just don't really have much of an interest in it anymore. I try. I do try. And for the sake
Yeah.
of the podcast, I try probably harder than I should. But it's the most, and I love professional wrestling, and I do like WWE. Don't get me wrong. It's just it's not something that I'm really interested in. I don't want to bash it because it's the cool or hip thing to do because there's a new
Nah, it's not.
hip young company out. It's just they're doing the same thing over and over. Remember every time that he would get bored and it wasn't doing as good as it was in the past, then what would happen? He would always change formats and stuff like that. There was the cartoon era, then became the what was that? The new generation era, then the attitude era, then ruthless aggression, etc., etc. All these. Now look at it; it's just been the same format for Jesus, 2 decades probably.
Been the same format since 1997.
Yep.
Ever since the Attitude Era came up, you seen the same old segment opening. It was hip back in the day with Austin coming out and doing his whatever 15, 20-minute segment set up through the night. And then it started getting old where it got Triple H on the Raw doing a 20-minute segment in the beginning. It's been going on since 1997.
It's a
I
good
take
way
it
to
back.
kill a half hour.
1988. Yes, it's been going on since 1997. At the tail end of it, 1997.
Right.
And I get what Vince is trying to do. He's was set up the show as storyline base from what's going to happen from beginning to end on Monday Night Raw, and that's understandable. But if you sat here, what was I watching? I forgot what was. Oh, okay. For example, we talk about this all the time. For example, Bianca versus Charlotte. They advertised it when
Oh,
it
that's
came
right.
on, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so they advertised it. What did they do?
it
They
didn't
do a
happen.
damn
I think.
promo with both
Yeah.
of. No, it happened. They
Oh,
did
it
a
did end up
promo with
happening. Okay.
both of them
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning of the 20 minutes for what you just advertised to me, Bianca versus Charlotte. So why would I sit there and watch Bianca? There's nothing wrong with Bianca talking, but why would I watch Bianca talking to Charlotte for 20 minutes to set up something that you already advertised before
Right.
the
They
show even
advertised it right
started.
before. Yep. And what's the purpose of either of them? Was it Charlotte or was it Becky?
What are you talking about? Oh,
Yeah,
two
were you
weeks
talking
ago?
about last night? Oh, you're talking about 2 weeks ago. Okay, never mind.
No, 2 weeks
I'm
ago.
trying
Yeah.
to remember. I'm trying to remember what happened last night. Who came
The
out?
way they set it up for last week, okay, that
Yeah.
last night, well, the night before now, because we Wednesday morning. The
Oh,
night
it's-
before,
right. Yes. Okay.
the night before, basically, they set it up right because they set up a match for next week. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That. Listen, if you trying to set up for something for next week, that's fine with me. But if you
Yeah.
sit there and you already advertise at the top of the hour, tonight we're gonna have Charlotte versus Bianca for the Raw Women's Championship. There's
Right.
no sense in having a promo. All you had to do is sit here and do promos throughout the show where you have somebody interview Bianca and be like, Bianca, how do you feel about facing Charlotte before your big match at Crown Jewel? You do that, and then you do the Charlotte interview later. You did not
Mhm.
have to sit here and have a whole promo.
Right.
I feel bad for the fans sitting there because I would have been pissed off. Like, yo, why am I watching when you just advertised to me on this screen that these two are going at it?
Do you realize that I have to sit there and witness some of this shit towards the end of November? I don't know why I'm going to SmackDown. I don't know why I agreed to, because then we're sitting here analyzing this, and I'm like, shit.
SmackDown
This
2
is
hours, so that gives you some time.
Will they record the main event before that? Is that what they do? The Hulu show, I think, maybe the dark matches.
Yeah,
Probably.
dark matches. But Raw, I will never buy a ticket to Raw. You couldn't pay me to buy a ticket.
I think that's false. But if you got a free ticket, you wouldn't go.
Nah, I
We're
wouldn't.
gonna have to test
I'm
that.
dead serious.
I would probably go, to be honest with you. But it's
If
like
you go and
sometimes
you have a ticket, I will suffer with you.
I've gone to. Well, I'm trying to think. I went in Hartford a couple years ago, probably the year before WrestleMania was at the MetLife Stadium. What was at 35? Jesus Christ. In 2 years, I went to 3 WWE shows. That's like the freaking most I've gone to. Oh my God, in years. It's hard to think about. Anyway, that's a lot of shows. Anyways, we got Crown Jewel was last Thursday, right? I just dropped my notes.
Yes,
Hang on.
last Thursday.
Yeah.
It happens.
All right. It happens. Good thing I didn't have to bend over. All right. So I thought that Crown Jewel, delivered and was a really good show for the most part.
Crown Jewel was probably one of the best WWE pay-per-views of the year. It was real good.
I thought it was good. And a lot of people like to talk shit about them going over there. I don't really think it's that crazy of an idea. They're an international company. I get it. There's the country, the politics that happen over there and all that stuff. But the fact that WWE is doing a show there and it ends up on this network, it's pretty fun to watch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The shows, it's basically, they try to make it like a WrestleMania over there. It's like a gigantic stadium and they build it up really good. And I'm sure they do a lot of press over there prior to that. You know what I mean? It's fun.
It's like a big it's like a big international festival over there where it's one night event that they go. It's like a same thing they do when they go to South Africa and all these other places where they make this one big event. It's like a tour, but this is like a one night event instead of them doing like 3 events per tour when they go overseas. I felt like out of all the other Saudi events, this one wasn't thrown together. It was really well put together, and especially when they didn't have no other pay-per-view involved in the month of October. So they really put all their guns together for this event. And the next event that we do have is Survivor Series. So it seemed like they're cutting down on pay-per-views, and that's a smart thing to go because they don't got no pay-per-views in December.
Weren't they supposed to have one in November, but it got canceled, or they just stopped? They never even mentioned it.
No, it's supposed to have TLC in December. They canceled that, so they won't be running one until January 1. So
that's very interesting.
Survivor Series still going to happen though. Survivor Series, you got the in the promotional matches, but we go back to Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel was a really good event. From top to bottom, I enjoyed it. Not one bad match on there. I mean, set for the Queen's crown, which we'll talk about that soon.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into we've been talking about how to quote Marcel Williams, I think it was last week, that the tournament was complete ass. So all right. Absolutely. So the opening was a did you watch the pre-show? I watched the pre-show because I was working.
I watched a little bit of pre-show. Watched a little bit.
Was the SmackDown?
Marcel did not watch pre-shows. I'm sorry.
A lot of people always say that, but this
Marcel don't watch pre-shows.
Well, I'm discovering that maybe I should just stop mentioning "Did you watch the pre-show" to anybody that wants to talk about WWE because nobody ever does.
You could listen. You could mention the pre-shows, but some people really invest their time to watch pre-shows. Marcel Williams don't watch pre-shows. You know why? Because they show clips on the main show, so there's no sense in me watching it. That's
true.
I'm sorry.
No. You got a point, but I was watching it because literally, I threw it on my laptop. I watched it on my laptop when I was in the office. All right, so the SmackDown tag titles were on the pre-show. The Usos successfully defended against Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. This was a pretty decent match, I thought.
It was decent, but I didn't like the way it was set up. It could have been more bigger than what it was. You had the Hurt Business, which they broke up and put back together. I feel like
for no reason.
For no reason. And I feel if it was built a good type of build, it would have been a way better, well built up matches that a thrown together match.
Yeah.
Than what it was.
Let's see this here. I don't know. I'm tired.
What's that? You want to talk about the Hell in a Cell match? The
27
minutes. The 27-minute Hell in a Cell affair.
I'll stop talking nasty about the Usos because I don't ever have a positive thing to say about them. But
so let's talk about. Okay,
I'm just tired of. All right, I'm just tired of them. You know what I mean? It's like, and you saw me come out as a gigantic mark at one point a couple of weeks ago when I said that they had to get involved in every match of Romans.
Which
and
you
I was
talk about later. You about to get pissed, aren't you?
No, because that whole thing kind of made me check myself, and because I compared it was like you didn't see heels like Bruno or not Bruno was a heel, but you know what I mean. Like Bruno never had, you saw me freaking out, and then I was like, forget it. It's not really worth. Yeah, it was. And I think it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, if a heel's going to cheat, it's just not obvious interference all the time. But that's just.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just I'm old school. I grew up in the '80s. You know what I mean? It's just.
I feel you.
So, but the Usos, they're all right. I'm just not convinced that they're like one of these great tag teams, like I don't know, the Heart Foundation, the Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, kind of a thing. I don't put them on that level, but there's not a lot of tag teams that are around today that I would put on that level. There's not a lot of tag teams in general today. Well,
they're a good modern day tag team for the WWE. I mean. Can they do better? Absolutely. I think they could do better. It's just they're a good modern day tag team for the WWE era of the now. If you want to look 10, 15 years down the road, we're going to look back at this time to see who was the best tag teams. And obviously it was the New Day and the Usos for WWE. Now I ain't talking about all the wrestling, but for WWE. So correct myself before I get sent some damn emails or something. For the WWE.
You might.
So yeah.
I don't mind. That's another thing. It's like I don't mind the New Day. It's the comedy gimmick that's just so over the top and corny, and they're really like kind of children's based, like their gimmick in a way. And I guess you know what I mean. The gimmicks of it. Like I said, that's usually yeah, exactly. But whatever, they're selling merchandise, tons of it. So what I'm saying is actually irrelevant. So all right. So the first match kicked off. I was actually surprised to see the Hell in a Cell was the opening match. I didn't expect that to happen.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. Edge defeated Seth Rollins. Yeah. Edge beat Seth Rollins. I did not really expect that to happen for some reason. I don't know why I didn't expect that to happen. I just figured I don't know. I always what's that?
No, go ahead.
No, I just felt like I don't think that he's at the age where he's should maybe be there to help younger talent. You know what I mean?
I
Putting guys
mean,
over. But
you had
if I'm
Summer.
wrong, yeah,
No. We got our opinions. I mean,
yeah.
Edge got his win at SummerSlam. Then Seth Rollins beat him at the Big Madison Square Garden show. This was the split breaker right here. Truthfully, we'll probably segue to Raw later. But the thing is, I mean, it segued for Seth Rollins to gain the position that he needed for last night or whatever the night before. So basically, this was like the end all be all for Edge and Seth Rollins, which was real good. And I enjoyed it. It was 27 minutes. It was 27 minutes of like a lot of action and storytelling. And looking back at it, you would think that Edge would be the number one contender, right? Because he's on Raw. But due to his contract, he's only due for rare appearances. So basically,
Right.
we gotta start from scratch, So,
Yeah.
it was a good match. I enjoyed it.
I didn't hate it compared to a lot. I'm not the world's biggest Seth Rollins fan either. He just annoyed me for some reason, and I don't know what else to say about that. He just annoyed me, and it's like whether he was a baby face or whether he was a heel. When he was in the Shield, I could tell you from the time he was in NXT. I don't really think as much, before WWE, he didn't really annoy me because I didn't really get to see him that often. But I always thought that blonde streak he had in his hair. I was like, God, that's so corny. Like, stuff like that. And maybe I'm just being too picky. What's
trying
that?
to be different. He was trying to be different.
Well, I mean, this is a business that you got to try to stick out. So I guess that was his way of sticking out. All right, so Christ. Mustafa Ali actually defeated Mansoor, which I'm surprised that actually happened because Mansoor
Now,
is
see, wait. So I didn't see the finish of that match. I seen the after match or whatever. So wait, Ali beat Mansoor?
That's what I got here. That's what I can
in Saudi Arabia.
That's
there was no riot.
I'm gonna look it up too, because if I
I'm looking up real quick. Hold on, I can't.
If I
believe you.
No, because if I wrote down the wrong thing,
I'm sorry, fans. I gotta take a pause here.
Nah, man.
I would think that would be a riot if it was that.
Me too. But I got to get to the other line too. Hang on. Where's the close button? Yeah.
I just got a report on my phone. I didn't know that happened, but ring announcer Greg Hamilton just got released.
That's in my notes for the show. I didn't get that.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. No. It's good. It's good because
sorry.
No. That's good. You brought it up. He did get released. He
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is because. Oh no, you know what? I'm wrong. Mansoor did win. I apologize. Apparently,
he did win. Okay.
Yep, I wrote the wrong thing down. So my bad. I must have.
It happens.
Because I usually write the matches down and then write the result next to it, but
I would have thought it would be a riot, so that's why I was
well, that's the other thing. You're right. So then this match, I got to be honest with you that this match was way too short for me. It was.
If it was a little bit longer, it would have been a great match because these two are good workers.
These two could really put on a great match. Like, you could have given them 10 minutes. I don't even think they got 10 minutes. Like, literally. I think they just went out there and did a few moves. And then Mustafa Ali was, having a post-match conversation to Mansoor, telling him off, basically. Was it, I guess, as a martial arts champion, Tariq
he was.
Yeah, Hamadi.
Olympics, and he got disqualified for the kick that he hit Ali with.
Yeah. Well, apparently, he delivered that to Ali. So the crowd went absolutely nuts for that. So
it was a good match that should have been more time, but sooner or later, these two athletes will soon show their talents when they get enough time on television. You know,
Yeah,
especially
Mustafa was a the cruiserweight champion at the time, and there was a time where he got to show some really good some good moments, but I don't know what the hell happened. WWE has a thing for doing that to some other guys. You know what I mean? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at what they do with Kira Tozawa and Drew Gulak now. They're just in the background running for the 24/7 championship.
Chase for 20. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's just ridiculous. And Gulak's probably one of the greatest pure wrestlers on the roster right now. So. And the Raw Tag Team titles, RK Bro defeated AJ and Omos.
Can we skip this match?
Yeah, I don't really care about this match, so I'm glad you said that.
All I gotta say is AJ Styles is the greatest worker to ever be in the modern era. For him to carry Omos the way he does through every match, and I see the hard work that he does, I'm just gonna put it out there. He's the greatest worker of this modern era. So we go on to the next one.
Oh, you got me now. AJ is honestly like he must love this business and love being in WWE or something like that to be stuck with almost whatever the fuck you call him. And actually, he must be just very patient. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because he's got that guy as his sidekick in a way. But I think honestly, because I'm almost. How do you say it? Almost. Okay, whatever. He can't really do much, but if they just built him as like a monster, just come in and destroy everything, like, okay, I'll accept that over him just missing punches and kicks and not really doing much. You know what I mean? Just come and power bombing smaller guys or whatever. And that's it. Other than that, I don't really care much about this match. So, this is
another rematch.
Yeah. This one you'll probably want. This is the match you wanted to talk about. Zelina Vega defeated Doudrop to win the Queen's Crown. I really feel like
drizzling of a tournament.
It was pure shit. And for like
I don't know why this was even done.
For the slightest of moments, I really honestly thought for some reason going into this, I was like, they're gonna put that shit on Doudrop. Give her the crown.
Listen, it doesn't matter.
Glad they did
they
it,
would have gave it to.
No,
the whole tournament was 20 minutes.
You're probably right.
The whole tournament was less than 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. How you do a whole tournament in less than 15 minutes?
WWE's style. That's WWE's style altogether, dude. That's what they do.
Trust me, there's been matches that I've done, and somebody tell me, "Oh, we only give you 5 to 8 minutes." But for somebody to tell you, "Okay, you only got 2 minutes in this tournament match," it's crazy. It's ridiculous to me.
Didn't they have the Women's Revolution, the WWE, supposedly, and they treated this kind of like a joke? This whole Queen's Crown. Maybe
the Mae Young Classic had more time than they ever did.
Yeah, there was actually like good matches in that tournament too. Some of them went for a while too. All right, so anyways, we
on to the next one.
And no holds barred match. Goldberg beat Bobby Lashley with a spear off the stage.
Right, so this match right here, I'm sorry, this event from top to bottom was good. But I'm just gonna say the hard worker Bobby Lashley was to carry Goldberg in this match.
Okay.
That's all I need to say. I appreciate Bobby Lashley doing the work that he did to carry Goldberg in this match. Because
you realize
we all know the history of Goldberg in Saudi Arabia, don't we? We all know that.
Damn near broke his neck. Damn near broke his neck last time.
Almost killed the feed. Yeah. He did kill he killed the character to feed, but he almost killed the feed with the jacking. Goldberg is limitless in the ring. He's got a limit.
Yeah.
You got a limit. So basically,
he can't work over two minutes. You cannot do over 2 minutes.
But Bobby Lashley made him work those 20 minutes or whatever minutes they had. I enjoyed it. It was.
I've never seen Bill Goldberg wrestle as long in any matches, and I've been watching him since his very first match in WCW. So the fact that he sat there and actually worked as long as he did, thank you, Bobby Lashley.
Yes.
This will be, and it was he 54 years old, Goldberg or something to that effect. It's like you should thank Bobby Lashley for putting on your greatest match.
Yes, thank Bobby Lashley.
The King of the Ring tournament final. Xavier Woods defeated Finn Balor to become King of the Ring. I thought this was a good match. What's that?
Now we cooking now.
That match was a good match. I thought the ending was kind of anticlimactic, though. In a way, it just seemed like the crowd died all of a sudden. I wasn't really convinced that Xavier Woods was going to win the crown. Did you think I was going on star level? Maybe, I don't know.
I kind of thought that he's going to win it because he made it this far. I really thought it was going to be Finn Balor versus Jinder in the finals. But after I seen him beat Jinder in the semifinals, that's when I knew he was going to take it. And I'm kind of glad that he won it because he's a big fan of the King of the Ring tournament. So am I. I feel like it's still some steam in the tournament if you put it on a pay-per-view and build it up right the way you did back in the day.
It should be its separate event. You know what I mean?
It should be. It should.
The fact that they've been doing it on the TV show for years, it's been freaking driving me nuts. So.
No, absolutely. King of the Ring is definitely a historic event that should be on pay-per-view. So I always enjoy these tournaments if they really put work into it. And the finals was really one of them, especially with a surprise win with Xavier, who is, like I said, a big fan of King of the Ring tournament. So he won it. He's a new king. King Xavier now. They changed the name now. King Xavier.
That's right. All right, so let's get into the notes here. I hope I'm not out of order. Universal Championship. Is that next? Roman Reigns defeated Brock Lesnar?
No. Actually, it was WWE Championship between Big E and Drew McIntyre.
How did I write this out of order? Okay. Big E retained the title.
Was you drunk, Rick? Was you drinking, Rick, when you did your notes?
What, at 12 o'clock in the afternoon? Why would I do that?
Listen, there's no discrimination.
Actually, you're right. I'm looking at a different list here. Yeah, you're right. Apparently, I messed up my notes. I really got to start paying attention. So, let's do this again. WWE title. Big E defeated Drew McIntyre. Yeah, okay. I thought this was a good match. I really did. I really do like Drew. I think that guy was very deserving for many years to become the champion. Mind you, I hated his first run in WWE when he came back and he was part of Shane's crew and stuff like that. I was like, something about him clicked. You know what I mean? He had worked his ass off to get back to WWE. There's just something there that clicked with me that I was like, man, this guy actually is really good. And you know, he worked with, and I think that I think he's out of the WWE title picture. I don't think so, but he just has the bad luck of being the champion, probably the worst era because of the COVID era, the pandemic era. So you're the empty arena era. Yeah, so it's unfortunate for him. So he never got to work the crowd really. Well, he worked the Royal Rumble, didn't he? In front of a crowd. Was that held in front of a crowd? Yeah. So. I don't know. I like this match, and I was really hoping because I was under the assumption that Big E was going to be a transitional champion going into Crown Jewel, but I didn't think that he would lose the title once we found out that it was Drew that he was going up against at Crown Jewel. So I hope that Big E, holds that title for a while.
I hope he holds it for a while, but when we talk about later who's challenging him next, I feel like he's going to be a transitional champion if that happens.
Yeah.
Because you got the Survivor Series coming up, and they always try to build a champion versus champion. So Big E versus Roman Reigns don't look good on paper. You know what I'm saying?
We'll talk about the Roman in a minute because I mean, it don't look good on paper because Roman's matches he works a slow style. Big E's kind of like a powerhouse style. You know what I mean? So I mean, it could be a good match. That one could really go either way, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. But the thing with the Survivor Series coming up is it's always Raw versus SmackDown. So it's always Raw always wins the thing, except for that 1 year NXT one when they were involved. It's always Raw that wins the whole thing. So they're probably going to start forming teams most likely next week or something to that effect.
Absolutely.
We'll have to see.
They got a long time to build up because they're starting to push these pay-per-views a little bit farther away from each other now.
They probably realize, it's getting rougher for people to sit through, or, not as many people are tuning in, or they're just doing too much for people. They have that's the one thing, probably they had the network for one time, which means they had to create a shit ton of content constantly to keep that network going, and keep people interested in the network. Now they're just a part of the Peacock network, so they don't have to sit there and constantly create, you know what I mean? They can just upload their stuff and upload their classic content. And if they come up with an idea for a show, I mean, I'm surprised 205 Live has not been canceled yet, but that's just me. All right. SmackDown Woman title. That was, hang on. Becky Lynch defeated, Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. It was kind of on the side.
This was a great match.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought that Sasha was going to walk out the champion, though. Yeah, it was awesome.
The match is great. The finish is great. I enjoyed everything about it. I just wish that we talked about it last week. I just wish Bianca would have beat Charlotte, and then this whole confusion that happened on SmackDown the next following day would have been avoided. But the thing is, this was a good triple threat match with all three great women that is great performers. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was a lot of fun. It was definitely they went for a good while too. All right, so now for WWE Universal Championship. I don't know how I messed up my notes, but Brock Lesnar lost to Roman Reigns.
Yep.
This is kind of a messed up ending at the end too.
Because of the Usos, your boys.
Yeah, because they're always around. But you think Brock will show up and destroy them, kick the crap out of them, murder them soon for interfering? He did not look happy when the match ended.
Nah, he didn't. And Brock Lesnar, I tell you what, him as a babyface now, and Roman Reigns as a heel, it looked like it's a refresh of rivalry, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed it real well, this match. And the way it ended, like it's going to be continuing real soon. I don't know when. Maybe the Rumble, Mania time?
Possibly, yeah. Maybe. Well, yeah, I think so. I think that the Brock Lesnar is a babyface. It's a totally different thing. I mean, he's worked heel pretty much his entire career. And him coming out, he's got a stupid grin on his face the whole time. Like he's a fresh character. You know what I mean? He does not look like the Brock of old at all. So it's just
Lesnar, please keep the hair. I'm just gonna put it out there.
No, get rid of that man bun like that.
Nah, you gotta keep
what the?
I'm not. Listen, that military haircut is played out, man. He's been having a military haircut for a hot minute.
He's had that for like 30 years. He had that when he was a kid. It looked like. Overall, though, I really did enjoy this show. I thought it was really, really good. So
yeah, it was a real good show. I enjoyed it. I was going into it and kind of knowing probably gonna be a good show the way they stacked it up, because usually they like to do these shows where it's just a throwaway show, but this show is really built up well story wise, and I enjoyed it.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna get into Rampage. I'm really into that.
Rampage
finally, yeah. Well, what else? Do we have any other WWE news to talk about?
No. Listen, Rampage was a great show. I mean, it was a good show. I mean, we're gonna talk about Andrade versus Pac too. That was a real good match.
Holy shit, we will get there. First, I want to talk about this one thing. I don't know if you read earlier, but it has been revealed that Tony Nese has signed with AEW. AEW themselves have not released it yet, but Dave Meltzer has mentioned it, and obviously he was sitting in the crowd for the hour, and he was focused on a couple times, and I think that's a really great grab for AEW. I think it's a really good grab for AEW.
Nah, absolutely. He's one of the good grabs, and they done grabbed a few grabs a few weeks ago. I mean, you got Bryan Danielson, got CM Punk on the rack. You got
Bobby Fish.
Andrade, Bobby Fish, Adam Cole. You have all these guys that's lined up. So Tony Nese is just added to all they need to do is bring in Buddy Matthews and a few other good hands, and then they be all set. Don't sign no more people.
I want to see Buddy, formerly Buddy Murphy, Buddy Matthews now. I want to see him in there. I really do, because I really liked him in WWE. I thought he was a phenomenal worker, and the fact that I had read that they passed on him, and that's why he was headed towards Impact, it really shocked me, to be honest with you, because I thought that he would fit in perfectly there, but I guess you can't sign everybody, you know what I mean?
That's fine. I mean, maybe they regret that, but I feel like Buddy Matthews would have been a great fit there.
Yeah, I think it'll be, once he comes in, I think it'll be a great worker in there. So, this is the start of the, the World Title Eliminator Tournament for Orange Cassidy defeated Powerhouse Hobbs. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your thoughts on this match are.
Can we talk about our thoughts on the bracket? Because I don't think we talked about the bracket, did we?
All right, go ahead on the bracket.
I feel like the bracket is trying to cover certain people. I mean, why Miro's not in it? Why Pac not in it? Why Andrade's not in it? I mean, I understand you try to give people certain chances. I get it. But this is supposed to be a tournament of good contenders, which we'll talk about another tournament, which did make sense. But this tournament right here, it just don't make no sense. You got it's not wrong with the hard work and ethics of certain stars. But why? Oh, it was a -10. He's facing Jon Moxley. Like,
that match made no sense to me, because how is was a -10 they call them? Like,
I think it's -10. Yeah.
No, -10. Well,
is it -10?
I think it's anyways. I'm gonna have that here, didn't he? Because do I have that here? I don't have it here because that's for next week's show, right? He's just gonna get his ass whooped. It's gonna be a squash match. Let's be serious.
That's it. Okay?
Because every week
should not be a squash match.
Every week you have Moxley coming out, and very rarely is it a match that's over like 3 or 4 minutes. It's just, and then I was saying, oh man, we're so lucky we're getting Moxley versus Suzuki on American TV. And the shit was 10 minutes, and then there was the picture-in-picture in the middle of it. So it's like, you know what I mean? So anything that is going to be a good match of his is going to be ruined by something similar to that. I don't get it. So, anyways.
But back to the Orange Cassidy and Hobbs thing, I kind of figured that Hobbs should have got a little win here. But the way they setting up, which was happening for the week earlier, where he attacked Orange Cassidy, not attacked, but he beat his friend in less than like 60 seconds. I guess they're setting up for Moxie versus Orange Cassidy. I feel like they didn't give Hobbs some type of little breathing room to get a little push, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, the guy I think he's going to have a chance. He's still young.
He has look.
He does. He's huge. He looks like he's going to be set, in the future. But in the teamdom with Taz, right? Is he part of Team Taz? Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to have a chance down the road. It's just that, I mean, I would freaking hope so, at least. You know what I mean? But you never know in wrestling, because people can just be like, well, fuck this. You know what I mean? It's like so many people don't get the chance. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. In real life, if this was a legit real life fight, Powerhouse Hobbs would probably kill somebody like Orange Cassidy.
He'd murder Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. But
I won't say murder or kill, but he'd be done.
He'd be done. It was all right. You know what I mean? It's Orange Cassidy. It took me a long time to actually get used to Orange Cassidy, to not hate him, because I hated it, the gimmick. But I discovered, like you said, the whole Roman thing. I got to be more open minded and look at it in a different light. So I enjoy the Orange
gimmick
Cassidy.
is over, guy. The gimmick.
It is. It is. And you know, I got
I
to tell
hate
you
to
how.
say it.
No, it really is. But I could tell you exactly when I decided that. I said this guy's not so bad. It's when he wrestled fucking Jericho. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that he showed that it's like, damn, this guy really isn't actually a good wrestler. You know what I mean? It's just it wasn't
even
all
when
the stupid gimmicks.
Yeah, even when he had his match with Kenny Omega and Pac, that triple threat match.
That was a good match.
Good.
That was really good. And they put it in where it was very believable that he might actually take that belt at one point.
Yes.
It was very believable. Like it was one of those moments that was like edge of your seat. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That last like with the countdown. But yeah, it was good. I almost forgot about that match. So also between that was Dr. Britt Baker defeated Anna Jay. This really wasn't much to speak about. What do you think?
It was kind of like a setup for Britt Baker versus Takanti for Full Gear.
Yep. Which is what? Is that next week?
Nah, I think it's damn. I'm so bad with dates. Oh, it's the night of Type 1 is on the night of Type 1 to none. Round 3.
Looks like we're
November
not
13th.
covering. Looks like we're not covering it that night. It looks like we're gonna have to watch it on Sunday.
We may have to cover 2 events in one night.
We've done worse. We're talking about the week in wrestling, and you expect me to remember every detail that happened on these shows.
That's why I tell you bullet points. Yeah. That's it. And then we'll just feed off of it.
Right. So yeah, that's why I'm hoping to be at Type 1 to None, because I want to be able to talk about it the entire in detail as well. Because I want to see my man Mario Mancini walk away with the Alley Fights title. All right.
Damn.
Sorry, Flash.
That's messed up, Flash. If Flash is listening, that's messed up.
All right. So Pac and Andrade. I'm not going to try to pronounce the whole name. Sorry. They put on a great 16-minute match. This was, I mean, phenomenal, dude. Like, Pac is outstanding. Andrade is getting a chance to shine in AEW. Like, you know, he had so much potential in WWE, and you know, I guess he didn't like what was going on there. So now here he is, and he's putting on classics like this that he did with Pac.
No, absolutely. Their first affair was really great. I enjoyed it, and this one was even better. It was just like everybody said. It seemed like Andrade had that match that he had a few years ago at NXT with Johnny Gargano. So it was like it was one of those type of field matches, and I enjoyed every bit of it. And I like the fact that he's proven everybody wrong, especially his former employer that he came from. So I enjoyed it. It was a good match.
Do you hear there's I've heard read stories. I don't know. It's probably a rumor. Obviously, it's the internet, so you never know what is true and what is not. That some people are trying to convince his lady friend over there in the WWE to leave and go to AEW.
All right, listen. I'm just gonna be real about this.
Yes, let's rant.
I know people gonna be either disagree with me or agree with me. Charlotte's not going nowhere. She's got a multi-year deal with the company. Yes, she may be doing certain things to try to get fired or try to get whatever. It's not going to work. They're not going to let her go. I'm just going to be real with you right now. So she could throw all the belts down to the ground. She could stick all the fingers she wants to the crowd. She could say suck it to the crowd. She could do whatever opposite things that they don't want her to do. It just does not. They could take off 1,000 WrestleManias and keep her off TV for 3 months. It just does not matter. They're not going to let her go. So they know what they have, and she's not going nowhere. So, you know, she could take pictures of all the AEW hats she wants at the gym. It's not going to happen.
Did you hear she was at one of their...
You could add me now at Showtime or so.
Did you hear that she was at one of their shows or going to be at one of their shows? Because
yeah, she was at one of the shows. I think she was at one of the shows, but like it just doesn't matter. Like you can't. I mean, I know she was trying to make appearance at. I think it was Triple Mania or one of the AAA events with when Andrade faced Kenny Omega. But she tried to
That
make
was
appearance on screen then, and she asked for permission. They said no. But it's just the fact is, you not at the end of the day, she could do 1,000 things. She's not going to get released. Now, on the flip side, I may be wrong because they released Bray Wyatt, they released Braun Strowman. They didn't care about them, so obviously nobody has a place in WWE right now. But Charlotte is one of those ladies that I feel like they will try to hold on to until whatever day person dies. God forbid. Like Charlotte Flair is one of those talents that they would like to keep.
I think you're right about that, but I don't know, man. If she did, what was that tag team back in the day that was in WWE? The Highlanders. You remember when one of them showed up on
Yeah.
on a live Impact show, and they, focused on him. The next day, he walked into work and he was fired. So if she just took it upon herself to do that, then I think that'd probably be the exception to everything you said. But I agree with you for the most part that I think that they're really trying to hold on to her because they, like you said, they know what they have. She's Ric Flair's daughter.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing.
She I hate to say it, and I'm just gonna put it out there, and maybe people might get pissed off, but she is one of the best women wrestlers of this era. I understand they give her like 13 title wins or whatever, but just looking at her and her performance, and she could cut a promo, she can work, she can perform, she's on mainstream media, like she does all the things that qualify a WWE superstar, and you think they're gonna let her go just to go to AEW? That's not gonna happen. It'd be a great hit for AEW, don't get me wrong, but they know that, and that's not gonna happen.
She'd have to change her character name and all that other business, you know what I mean? And that happens a lot when going over there. And sometimes that could be your downfall, is when you need to change. You know what I mean? Sometimes the name, there's so many people that'll end up going in there by their shoot name, and it just, it just sounds ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have that appeal, the name, you know what I mean? So it just doesn't end up working. Anyways, we're on to Dynamite, which I thought was a fantastic show.
It was a great show, especially the Daniel Bryan versus Dustin Rhodes. That was a real good match.
You're gonna get us sued. The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
I'm sorry. I said it right earlier.
You did.
What's going on? What are we doing here? Okay, listen. Bryan Danielson.
As if they never changed his name, then you wouldn't have had to. We wouldn't have this issue.
You're right. Because I've known him as that name before he even got there. That's the funny part.
So Bryan Danielson and Dustin Rhodes, Danielson won. They won for like a good 20 or so minutes. Well, it seemed that way at least. I don't know if that's certain, but this is part of the tournament. Danielson advances. This was a great match, dude. And, the crowd was really weird, though, I thought. It wasn't entirely receptive, it seemed at first. But as the match went on, it seemed like they, got into
one of those sleeper matches. Because we seen on the bracket, but we knew it would be good. But we didn't know if it's going to be that good. And it was that good.
And I'm going to tell you this. I think Dustin Rhodes is doing some of his best work right now. 50-something years old. And he is, and bless that guy, he's gone through a lot, you know what I mean? And when he had returned to his WWE for his last run, I thought he was really good. He had dropped weight. He had some of his in-ring performances were really, really good. In AEW, he can go out there and wrestle a broomstick. He's putting on a good match, literally.
Absolutely. He's a great performer. He always been a great performer, but he's really, showing that fine wine. He's sitting there.
Yes.
He's going in there and competing with any age possible.
Yeah, he's just doing some great stuff. So Danielson advances in the tournament. I wish I had the bracket in front of me because now I don't. The updated bracket, but I don't. So the TBS tournament started as well.
Yes. Can we talk about that bracket?
Sure, go for it. Start it up.
I like that bracket.
Yeah.
The bracket makes sense.
Okay.
You got contender 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
They got to buy into the second round. So you got the people in the first round that's going to compete, and whoever wins go into the second round to face the contender. That's the best concept of the tournament. Why would it? Because one, the tournament is not happening in one night. If it was happening one night, it'd be unfair. It's not unfair.
Mm-hmm.
It happens bi-weekly. Well, it happens every week, but that bracket probably won't happen until a week after. So basically, the bracket is. I like that bracket. If I would make a bracket like that, I would make a bracket like that. Have the contenders have a bye because they're the contenders.
All right. So Ruby Soho defeated Penelope Ford.
You don't agree with me, Rick?
No, I do. I do. I do. I'm not very good at explaining things like that. You know what I mean? But I get what you're saying. So I agree with you. So, yeah. No, I agree. I think it's going to be a fun tournament.
I'm sorry. I thought you agreed with me. I thought you were going to be like, this guy.
No. I'm not very good at explaining like technical style like that, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I have you here, because you're better than I am. So, I think that I'm actually convinced that this tournament is going to be just a really good tournament. That this is where, it seemed like it took a little while for AEW's women's division to get rolling to be, you know what I mean? WWE had a really great women's division, and trying to say how to say it. It brought women's wrestling to the mainstream, I guess, so to speak, and it was just, but as AEW has come along, it just wasn't catching on as much, even though they'd still had an amazing amount of talent in there, but it seems like now they're developing it as like a big thing and part of the show. Like it's going to be an equal up here to like the men's division. You get what I'm saying? And I think that it's going to be really good. And in this match right here, Ruby Soho and Penelope Ford is all right. I think that Ruby Soho is doing some fantastic work in AEW right now. She's only been in there a few weeks. She's doing great,
Absolutely. The whole first round, you'll see the real contenders qualified to round 2, and Ruby Soho is one of them. And we got a few other brackets as well, which I'm looking forward to. Sorry, people. We're tired. It's late. It's okay. It happens. We work jobs.
We do. And we started late tonight, so yeah.
We started late. It's all right. So excuse our yawning. We're tired, and then we've got beer on top of it. It makes it worse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
It's nothing wrong with that. Long as we ain't driving, we all good.
Yep.
But the brackets really look good. I know certain brackets, the deep matchup versus Shira. I don't want to mispronounce her name.
It's supposed to be Shida. Hikaru Shida.
Hikaru Shida.
Butchered. Yeah, because they just had they wrestled.
We gonna get a whole lot of emails soon.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Hikaru Shida. Normally,
that match is gonna be good.
If this was daytime, I could pronounce these names properly. But yeah. But Shida is they've had I think 2 matches in AEW against each other that were phenomenal. So
yes,
I don't doubt that this match is going to be any less phenomenal.
Yeah, this whole tournament is gonna be real good. It probably gonna drag out all the way to the debut in January for Dynamite on TBS.
That's 2 months from now.
Yeah, so they probably gonna drag it out. They're gonna drag it out for a while. They probably do 1 match per show.
Jesus, wow!
Hey,
I got patience for that.
You gotta do slow burn.
I guess. So.
Why would you not do it on TBS, the debut show? It's on TBS. I mean, I understand.
You're right. No, you're right.
It's
No,
too
you're
much.
absolutely 100% correct. No, that's what I was wondering. Is like, when the hell is that going to happen? But yeah, you just said it. It makes sense. So the next match, Bobby Fish and Anthony Green. I had no idea going into this that Anthony Green was going to be on here tonight, or this evening. That was last Saturday.
Well, I did, but I didn't know the time that was put into the match was going to be at like that, though. But
Well, hold on. I was going to say that.
okay, go ahead.
I did not see
Brother.
until I was going into it that Green was going to be announced. Now, he is not signed with AEW, correct? He just is doing an appearance. It
No,
doesn't
he's
seem.
just doing an appearance here and there. Matter of fact, he's not signed, but I think he's doing appearance here and there because his release expired. I think NXT or any other people that's under the main roster got 30 days.
Okay. So he didn't. So it has expired. So he could sign with them, which I think that would be a great pickup for AEW. To be honest with you, I think Anthony Green is a fantastic. He's a great talent, and the fact that WWE really dropped the ball on him within months of him signing, really.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
signed. He was in that program with Timothy Thatcher, and then suddenly, during the release, he was part of it. And I think this guy's really good. And the fact that they only gave him, I can have the time here too. 1 minute and 54 seconds. That's some horseshit right there. I didn't like that, but it is what it is.
It was a setup for something else. So,
yeah, well,
like I say in the business, and I say it to everybody else, there's a spot that somebody has to take in the business that you got to accept and do, and he had one.
Yep. Well, I guess Bobby Fish continued to go after him, and then CM Punk made the save. So, what's it next? Is it next Wednesday or tomorrow? Is that when they're
tomorrow?
Supposed to be?
Matter of fact,
Bobby.
since it's airing right, and since this is airing in the morning, tonight, yes. Dynamite returns to TNT, 8 p.m. Like I'm on the show, 8 p.m. on TNT. We're gonna have CM Punk versus Bobby Fish.
And I gotta tell you,
CM
I'm really
Punk
looking forward
first
to
ever
that one.
Dynamite appearance.
Really?
Well, no, I take that back.
Match?
First ever match. Damn, I'm tired. First ever match for TNT on Dynamite. He's been doing commentary and doing promos.
That's true.
But this is first ever match on TNT.
Yeah, so I guarantee that's going to just be a hell of a match right there. Bobby Fish is an amazing talent, and CM Punk is CM Punk,
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Kingston and Lance Archer put on one hell of a match as part of the Eliminator tournament. This shit was brutal. I love Eddie Kingston. I love Lance Archer, but Eddie Kingston came out on top. Eddie Kingston was all over the freaking place, beating the crap out of him outside the ring, and just it was a fucking good match. And I think that at one point Lance landed wrong, didn't he, on his head? And they ended up
after he did.
the match. They had the medics afterwards.
Match.
Yeah. I think they called it. I don't know if it was. I mean, I know the landing was legit, but I know the medics. I don't know if it was Eddie Kingston supposed to win. That's the thing. Like, and then they just called it quits, kind of a thing, right there, and just had him go over because of because you could definitely tell there was something wrong with Lance Archer after the match when the medics were speaking to him. You could see it in his eyes and his head. I hope he didn't, break his neck or whatever. But it was pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah, we hope he's fine. He landed wrong, which was what we seen on TV, and they had to put an audible. So now Eddie Kingston is going to advance, and we're going to have Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, that's going to be a good match right there. That's going to be good. I don't know if those two ever wrestled before, Kingston and Danielson, somewhere
Not
on the
that
Indies.
I know of, but it should be a real good match, a stiff one too.
Oh God, that's going to be good. I can't wait to see that one. So, on top of that, this match was Jungle Boy defeated Brandon Cutler within just in a minute, and Jungle Boy said that he was not even warmed up. He just wants to wrestle again. So of course the Elite came out and destroyed him and stuff like that. But I thought it was kind of funny when he had he had him in the SDF or whatever, and he was screaming, and I just died laughing. Oh,
yeah, Brandon Cutler is one of those underrated talents that are showing his talent when we're not even seeing it or recognizing it.
So then the Elite came out and destroyed Jungle Boy basically. So after that,
yes, they did. To set up probably for Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy 2, which was the first one, was really good.
Yeah, I think Jungle Boy's awesome, dude. He's a young kid though, so
he got a great future, man. Great
future.
My
God, does he ever? Because he's only been involved probably for a few years, but I think he's just in his early 20s. So, like you said, he's got a gigantic future, like a big future. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to be right there. So it's main event time.
So what you thought about this main event?
What did I think of it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the world's biggest Cody fan. I love his daddy and I love his brother. It's just Cody is... He's like the Triple H of AEW in a way. Yeah.
Why did you say that? Let me tell you why. That's funny. So, me and my wife was talking this morning, and we was talking about because I guess people give Brandy the hate, like Stephanie hate, and I was explaining to her why that hate is the way it is, and why Cody is about to get that hate now. And when you said Triple H, I started laughing because I explained to her he's got the Triple H effect going on right now, and when he turns heel, it's going to be a wrap.
He just puts himself over like all the time. It seems like, you know,
not all the time, dude.
But when he's not going over, it's just a setup for him to go over eventually.
No, you're right. You're right. If he didn't do the same formula that he did with Brody Lee, then this would have been what it was. But what he did was he had Brody Lee beat him, and then he came back and beat him for that. But then he tried to make it different, but it still was the same. He had Malachi Black beat him twice, but then at the end, he got the win at the end of the day. You can't use the same formula and try to change it and keep the same formula going. You know what I'm saying? So Cody Rhodes, all I can say is I understand he's saying in the media that he doesn't want to turn heel, whatever it is. Listen,
I think that's a bunch
it's time to turn heel. Me too. I think it's coming.
I think they've been teasing it for a couple months. Actually, people were talking about that like last year. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they felt it, but then he would take time off. I think it's going to happen. I don't listen to him, whatever he says. I just
trust me. If he turns heel, he automatically give himself an AEW championship shot. That's got to be the main heel thing.
But he's not allowed to have that though. Do you remember?
He is an EVP though, so he has the right to sit there and give himself a championship shot if he wants to.
Yeah, I guess you're right on that.
That'd be a great heel move. Great.
It would be. I just like this was
an Alley Price championship match.
What are you talking about? That I thought I thought Flash got attacked, so he wanted it. What are you talking about? You're breaking kayfabe on the show.
Nah. Mario put himself in a championship match. That's what he did.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Yeah.
Jesus. I thought this was a good match, though. I really did think it was a good match. It was a lot of fun. I liked when Arn got the mist, the black mist.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun, dude. It was just like I said, not the world's biggest Cody fan. Cody's
trying.
I guess. Do you watch this reality show?
He said, "I guess."
No, I don't. I don't watch.
No, I don't.
I don't watch reality TV. Yeah, I don't have the time either. I try to watch all this wrestling and have to sit through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw because of
me.
So I thought that Dynamite was actually a really good show this week. It was a very good show.
Dynamite was good. SmackDown was good for only 2 segments. You had the Brock Lesnar thing where he got definitely suspended. And then you had the belt handoff between Charlotte and Becky, but that ended up being rumors that they had competitions backstage. because the segment was stupid, which it was stupid. But we can segue to Raw if you want for a quick
you
review.
could if you want to talk about some Raw, because I really don't honestly remember much about it. So.
Listen. Only thing I want to say about Raw is I'll make it nice and quick. Seth Rollins is the new number one contender in a ladder match that I did watch. The ladder match was real good between him, Rey Mysterio, Kevin Owens, and I forget the fourth guy. Oh, Finn Balor. Yes. That ladder match was real good. Seth Rollins is the new number one contender. And plus next week we got Bianca versus Becky for the Raw Women's Championship.
I'll try to watch it just for that.
That's all you can take from Raw.
All right. I'll try to watch just for that. All right, real quick. I did get the chance to watch Halloween Havoc tonight, so I'm just going to run through the results. Hopefully I wrote this down right. I type it on my phone. Literally, I copy and paste stuff and then try to put them in order based on while I'm watching and then write the results. And sometimes obviously, as you found out tonight, I fucked it up for Crown Jewel.
What the?
All right, so Halloween it does. I'm terrible at this. Toxic Attraction, which it's a weird name. Now, mind you, hold on. I was reading earlier that Brian Alvarez predicted that he would not be surprised if all the titles changed today. I'm going to tell you that the majority of the titles did change on it.
Yes,
there's only one that didn't. Toxic Attraction won the NXT Women's Tag Team title match in the Stairway to Hell match. I guess it's supposed to be a ladder match of some sort. That's how they Stairway to Hell. It's pretty good. Joe, yeah, yep, that's a pretty good name, right? Is that Joe Gacy defeated?
ECW, that was ECW stuff.
Was that? Yeah, you're right. Right. Now, mind you, they added. Mind you, I get emails from WWE and they have the entire match list and the thing, but of course they just added extra stuff to it. But so, Joe Gacy destroyed Malik Blade. I'd never seen that guy before. Roderick Strong defeated Odyssey Jones. That dude's a huge motherfucker. That guy is gigantic. You see him? Odyssey Jones? He's built like Mark Henry, kind of like was. You know what I mean? And I can't believe a guy that was much smaller than him beat him. So, Mandy Rose.
Don't sleep on Roderick Strong. That's messed up.
Dude, I've been a huge fan of his since was it Full Impact, Ring of Honor, all that stuff, TNA. No, I've always I think Roderick Strong was a freaking underrated wrestler for many years, man.
Still is.
Yeah, I think that. Well, let's just be happy that he's actually still employed there. So I think
true.
All of actually Kyle O'Reilly's still employed, right? Or they just haven't seen him in a while.
Unfortunately, yeah, he is with the gimmick with what's his name? Bloom's son. I seen his promo.
Wayne Bloom, Wayne the Train Bloom. Yeah. What was? He's with that guy now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they trying to start tag
teaming
right. This segment 2 weeks ago that they was camping and stuff. It was so bad. I feel bad for Kyle O'Reilly.
Damn. This is like a serious wrestler and MMA guy that he can be in there. Seriously, it's just killing it with really good matches, and they put him in something stupid like this.
I feel bad for my boy.
Oh god! So Mandy Rose became the NXT Women's Champion by defeating Raquel Gonzalez on the Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal match. I forgot what it was called, what the deal was, but she was attacked post match by Dakota Kai. They made a big deal. Announcers made a big deal about it. I didn't really think that it was. I thought it was pretty anticlimactic to me.
Yeah.
Personal opinion. Imperium defeated MSK for the NXT Tag Team Championships.
I did see this match. This match was great.
This match was really freaking good. I liked this match a lot. I'm going to tell you, I got some other side notes in a minute, but I really expected Braun Breaker to defeat Tommaso Ciampa, but that didn't happen. So
a lot of people kind of thought that because of the way they built them up, but that's the magic of professional wrestling, building up a main event, hoping that guy will win the championship. So Braun Breaker, he really showed that he had some that he could hang with Tommaso, but it did show that he was still green. You know what I'm saying, with certain stuff that he did do. But
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I just think that it's you see that a lot of things that NXT did tonight, they were switching over from the old NXT to NXT 2.0 by giving all the newer talent the titles. But Tommaso is definitely a very important part of the older NXT.
Yes, he is.
So they didn't. So apparently their plan, he's still in their plans, at least for now.
Nah, absolutely. Like he said, if he loses that championship, the last remnants of the old NXT is gone. So he keeps the championship to keep that that regime still kind of going. Some drip of the old NXT stay around.
Right. Of course, throughout the entire show, you had Carmelo Hayes and what's his partner? The guy that's always.
I don't know his partner name though, but
something Williams. Yeah. They basically walked around the property of haunted property, trying to retrieve the North American title from Dexter and Johnny Gargano, and eventually they got it and walked away with it. They had.
I thought you were gonna say the dreaded NXT parking lot where everything happens at.
Nobody learned to not park there, right? But
yeah, exactly.
I don't think that's going to be happening now in the 2.0. I haven't even seen. Don't think I've even seen. I don't know. I didn't watch last week, but I haven't been paying as close attention because it's not NXT to me anymore. It's it's like Raw Light or something.
Yes.
So I don't know. Has William Regal even been on there? That's the other thing. Has he been made? Nope. Jesus Christ.
I seen him on the first episode, and that was it. I think.
Sheesh.
Samoa Joe, I haven't seen him either.
Yep, that's true too. He's gone, so we'll see what happens with him if he does come back. If not, we'll see. So what else? Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Nah, we all set. We covered everything. If we didn't cover anything, they always welcome to hit us at our. Go ahead, Rick.
You can hit the social media. You can hit us up, pwzpodcast@gmail.com. You can hit us up, Twitter, Instagram, what's the other one? Facebook, PWZ Podcast. We're also now on TikTok with PWZ Pod. Subscribe, like, share, and all that fancy stuff. Oh, wait, and you can follow me, my personal account, at the Rick Del Santo.
Indeed, you can follow me on social media for Instagram at Showtime Marcel, on Twitter at Showtime Marcel, and Marcel on Facebook. And keep following the PWZ Podcast at PWZ Podcast on all YouTube, all podcast outlets, and continue to listen, share, subscribe. Numbers keep going up. Enjoy. Send us some messages at our handles. Just continue to communicate with us, and we continue to put out the content.
And we have been working very close to get to 1,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel. We're very, very close. We are, well, as of prior to this recording, we were 145 away from hitting 1,000. Mm-hmm. I believe that's a proper number. So if you can, guys, spread the word, like, share, subscribe. I got a really good prize I'm going to be giving away for a contest. I'm not going to reveal it now, but there will be a T-shirt involved, the PWZ T-shirt, and there's also going to be just a really cool prize. So I'm not going to reveal it until we hit 1,000. So keep liking and subscribing. And thank you very much. Enjoy your day.
Be well, be safe. Good night, people, and see you next time.